That's Ty here. Very urgent weather situation today as an enhanced risk is in effect, which is tornado and wind driven. Tornado threat is especially eye-opening today as we have a hatched risk in that enhanced risk, which means there's a threat for significant tornadoes. There's also a hatched risk with the hail threat, which means we could be getting hail above golf ball size. Could do a lot of damage to your car. So to make sure that we are staying weather aware today, models have been in pretty good agreement with this storm setup for a good minute here. So I'm not surprised to see that this has the potential to be a very intense day. Trying to work on a video really quickly right before I go to work here, so make sure that you tune in for that. You don't want to miss it. Hey guys, Ty, your metalhead weatherman here. Hopefully you guys are doing well. In this one, we have an urgent weather situation here where we have the enhanced risk. I talked about this briefly in the live stream from last night's storm. You can look at that when you go into the video section of the channel, or it just might pop up in your feed. Hopefully it does. Love to be back in YouTube's algorithm. That being said, as mentioned in the preview, we have a 10% hatched risk area over central Oklahoma and central Kansas here. This recently got upgraded last night actually, and we found out about this on stream. So we have to make sure that we are weather aware across this region, because I think most of these storms should be firing around sunset from the looks of it. So not only do we have the tornado threat, but also a very large hail threat. These last few storm systems have had that trend with them as well. So let's make sure that if we can get those cars covered. I know hail insurance is not anything nice to play with here, so let's make sure that we're doing our part there. There is still a 15% wind threat. There is a chance that that could be upgraded as well, and it's something that we'll have to keep an eye on throughout the course of the day. I'm going to take a quick look at the models here. We already know what the trough looks like at this point, so we're actually going to just jump right to the low-level jet here. I'm normally not the guy that likes to jump to the dessert, so to speak, but this is going to have to be a quick video because I only got a few minutes left before I have to run for work here. I don't know how I'm even going to be able to edit this video, honestly. But right around 7 o'clock Central Time, you start to see a little bit of a maximum forming here. We're getting up to about 45, maybe even close to 50 knots here. When you look at the significant tornado param here, the numbers are really impressive at this point. You got a 7 here. You have some ridiculous lapse rates. Surprisingly less hail analogs with this. But this is a very alarming hordeograph look that we're seeing here. So this is going to be pretty interesting to see how things develop. There is a little bit of a capping inversion. I don't think it would be enough to stop these storms. Hopefully it could slow them down so we can't take advantage of the storm relative felicities here. But overall, as we head later into the evening, there's a much more broad area that develops here of low-level jet, and that could become a very big problem down the line here. Eventually, I do expect the supercell threat to diminish, which is a good thing, but we could see some embedded supercells before the night's done as well. We could see many of these storms potentially as high precipitation supercells where there's a chance of tornadoes being rain wrapped. So I discourage anyone that lives in this region to be going out and looking at the storms. I know you're Oklahomans. I know you're used to this kind of weather for the most part, but nonetheless, this could be a pretty dangerous day here. We can see that the instability is very abundant across this region, and even getting into Kansas later tonight, we could see a little bit of extra instability in the early morning hours of Friday, but that'll probably be another video in and of itself. Let's go ahead and see when the storms are going to fire across this region here. I couldn't get the loop to stop earlier. But right around, I would say, I guess 5, 6 o'clock Central Time, that's when the storms will start to fire. It's a good bit of a updraft holicity up in these as well, so these have to be watched very close. We could be seeing a complex of storms with embedded supercells coming into play. We could see these be discrete. Anything that's discrete ahead of this line definitely will be getting my attention the most out of all of these. It's not going to be widespread. I think the cap is going to break just enough for these storms to maybe be more discrete than what we're seeing here. There's a lot of moving parts with this setup, and there's a couple of fail parameters, one being the capping inversion. But nonetheless, we still have to be weather aware here, just in case things go south here, which it very well could. The models throughout the day are going to be very telling of this. I wish I could update it more, but I'll be at work when this really starts to develop here. My main concern, of course, has been mainly Oklahoma and towards the Kansas City line. Not to say that Kansas later into the evening doesn't increase their tornado potential, but the best numbers that I've seen continually throughout the last several days has been through Kansas, the Kansas-Oklahoma line, and around Kansas and around Oklahoma City itself. I don't know why I keep saying Kansas. And here's that same sounding that we were looking at earlier. And then, of course, that's an interesting little trend. We're starting to see it trend more towards Oklahoma now than Kansas. Of course, we can't also see Kansas completely. So we'll go ahead and quickly switch over to that so that we get a better look at it. Still can see Oklahoma City. So here we are looking at Kansas. We do get some decent numbers, but it's not like before where we had those pockets where we were starting to get those higher values. So there is a chance that some parts of Kansas may get away with a little bit here. Of course, these models change a lot, so let's not be too complacent over here in Kansas either. But Oklahoma definitely looks like a hot spot tonight. That being said, I know I kind of rushed this video. I'm sorry if I did, but I have to get out of here like right now. So I'm going to quickly edit this video as fast as I can, and we're going to jet. But you guys stay safe. Remember to shred the algorithm, hit that like button, punch that subscribe button, and mosh that share button. I'm trying to find new ways to say this stuff. We'll figure it out though. Anyway, it's been Ty, Metalhead Weatherman. You guys take care, stay weather aware, and I hope to see you when I go live later today.